Welcome to the first episode of the Budget's Legacy podcast. I'm your host, Peter, and in today's episode, we're going to focus on your money mindset. How do you think about money? What are your triggers? Who taught you about money, directly or indirectly? There are different mindsets with money, and each mindset influences financial decisions and behaviors, shaping individuals' financial outcomes and attitudes towards money. So I believe before we can make actual change in our financial well-being, we must first recognize and understand how we view money and what our triggers are. So I like to say that when you get on this journey of changing your financial habits, you must have a renewed mind. This refers to a transformative change in one's thinking and perspective. This renewal involves letting go of old patterns and thinkings that may be negative, limiting, or contrary to one's values, and embracing new perspectives that promote growth and positivity. It's about cultivating a mindset that is open, receptive, and continually evolving, leading to personal development and inner peace and a deeper connection with one's beliefs and values. So for me, I started following Dave Ramsey's baby steps. So I did the baby emergency fund. I started paying my debt off, but I was still going back and still doing things that were kind of habits of that I was doing before. But it was one day I realized that I had to. It wasn't that I had to. My mindset started changing. So the things that I would typically want and desire started changing. My desire to be out of debt was starting to take over my the way I generally view things. My mindset just completely changed. So even to the point when I see a nice car, I first see the debt that comes with it. So as before, where before I would immediately, I want this car, and not even care. Okay, yeah, I would care how much it costs, but in that time mind frame, if I could get to a place where I could afford it because I could make the payments on it, I would go after it. But now I had a whole different mindset now, where if I see it's affording it to me now is to pay it in cash. So I really feel like in this journey you really have to have a mindset change from kind of what the norms are. Dave Ramsey, he has this thing where he calls, when people get out of debt, they call themselves weird people because it's weird to be completely out of debt. It's not the traditional thing to do, to be out of debt and have paid everything and use strictly cash and stop using credit. So that's where I have the renewed mind, because it's kind of like clearing out the previous thoughts and beliefs and bringing in new beliefs and new desires. Financial habits and views are typically developed through a combination of personal experiences, upbringing, education, and societal influences. If we break that down, we first have upbringing. So your family environment plays a significant role in shaping our financial habits and views. Observing how our parents or guardians handle money, their attitudes towards spending, saving, and investing can heavily influence on our behaviors. What did your parents teach you about money, directly or indirectly? Was it talked about in your household, or was it something that you observed as a child, or was it just you were young, so it just kind of all went over your head? The next thing that plays a big part is your personal experiences. Our past experiences with our money, such as earning an allowance, getting your first job, or managing expenses while you're in college, contribute to the development of our financial habits. Positive experiences can reinforce healthy habits, while negative experiences may lead to the adoption of less desirable ones. Next, we have education. So, whether it be formal education or whether it be self directed learning, so your YouTube videos, your podcasts, just reading books, this all provides knowledge about financial concepts, budgeting, saving, investing, and debt management. This education can shape our understanding of money and influence our financial decision making. So it could be self-directed. It could be I grew up riding in a car with my parents listening to financial radio shows. So I heard things though I was young. Some of it did stick, and I remember, hearing certain things, and that self would be self-directed. I wasn't on purpose that I was going seeking that knowledge, but because I was in that car and I was listening, I picked that up. So you can learn from your habits, and your education can come from things like that, or just formal education. You take a financing course. So those things play a big part. The next thing that plays a big part is social influences. So your cultural norms, media portrayal, and peer influence also play a role in shaping financial habits and views. Society's attitudes towards consumerism, wealth, and success can impact how individuals perceive and manage their finances. So, just your social groups that you're in can play a big part. You make sometimes just the things in the groups that you're around you pick up on, even when it's not intentional. So if they're out spending a lot of money going out to eat, and buying bottles at the club, on buying expensive cars, sometimes you incorporate those things into your life and you're not even realizing. It's just that's the norms of your social circles. Then you have life stage and events. Major life events such as getting married, having children, buying a house, or experiencing job loss can prompt changes in your financial habits and views. These events often necessitate adjustments to financial priorities and strategies. So it could be you may have been spending money. This how it happened to me. I was spending money a certain way, and so like my credit card, I would just use my credit card to say I'm bidding on something on eBay. I don't get my check till Thursday. It's Tuesday. Bid on it, use my credit card, pay it right back on Thursday, or use my credit card and pay it off at the end of the month. But when I bought my house, it changed the way I managed my money, because I just had this need to fix everything up to how I wanted it immediately. So I was spending money differently after I bought my house. And in the same manner, when I had job loss, after started spending that manner, having job loss kind of gave me a wake up call of, hey, your money habits are bad. Like, you're spending way more than you make. And so now, not having a job and not having the money to pay like credit card debt and those things kind of wakes you up to realizing, okay, I need to change my habits. My priorities are different. My priority now is to pay this debt off and stay out of debt. My strategies are different to, saving more and spending a lot less than I make. So now that's the new strategy, and that's the new priority, is spend less than I make. So overall, developing healthy financial habits and views often involves a combination of learning, reflection, and conscious decision making to align personal values with financial goals. Continuous self-awareness and education can help individuals adapt and improve their financial behaviors over time. Next, we'll go into a few types of money mindsets. Different mindsets of money management include scarcity mindset, the belief that there's never enough money, leading to fear-based decisions and a focus on lack rather than abundance. Then there's the abundance mindset, belief that there are ample opportunities for financial growth and success, leading to confidence, optimism, and proactive financial decisions. Then you have the saver mindset. The savior prioritizes saving and being frugal, emphasizing building a financial safety net and long-term financial security. Then you have the investor mindset. The investor focuses on strategic investments to grow wealth over time, often willing to take calculated risks for potentially higher returns. You have the entrepreneurial mindset. They emphasize innovation, creativity, and risk taking to generate income and build wealth through business ventures. These are just a few mindsets that you can have. There's several others, but I feel it's important to realize what your beliefs and mindset is on money, so you can build off that. You kind of have a direction. Is this a good mindset? Is this bad? Is this should I have kind of a in between of a couple? Not focus so much, only on saving, but maybe have a abundance mindset. A combination. Okay, yeah, I do need to save and prepare for the future, but let me, have some optimism that I will reach to this level of financial success. Knowing your mindset and your habits, knowing your beliefs for the things that you've learned through previous experiences or what you were taught, to combining all that is a good starting point before you start trying to change your ways, changing your mind first. And one of the next things that affect your mindset is your financial triggers. Financial triggers are events, circumstances, or emotional factors that can influence a person's financial behavior, decisions, and habits. These triggers can vary greatly from person to person, but some common financial triggers include emotional spending, peer pressure, life transitions, advertisement and marketing, financial windfalls, and financial setbacks. Emotional spending is emotional triggers such as stress, anxiety, sadness, or even happiness can lead to impulsive or excessive spending as a way to cope with emotions. Stress, anxiety, sadness may be common to some people. It's when they get stressed or have a lot of anxiety, just, they call it retail therapy, going out and buying things make them feel better. You may think happiness is, you may not think of it as happiness, but I think of when I'm on vacation, it's like, oh, I'm on vacation, having a good time. Yeah, I want to get this, and just start spending just in the moment of enjoying the environment of where I'm at and just the whole experience. It's like I worry about when I get home type of situation. Next, we had peer pressure. So social pressures or comparison to others, lifestyles, or possessions can prompt individuals to spend beyond their means to keep up with appearances or fit in with certain social groups. So your social group, this could be like lawyers or doctors. If you're a doctor or lawyer, and that's just that group, it's kind of like a standard. So you have to have this type of car if you're in this field and that type of thing, or it's just a group of friends that you're around may or may not have the money to buy certain things, and they're just buying it, and it's like, oh, I want that to be, type of cars they're driving, just, out at a club and buying bottles and getting tables and that type of thing. So just your social environment. Then you have your life transitions. Major life events such as getting married, having a child, buying a home, or experiencing job loss can trigger significant changes in financial priorities and behaviors. So like having a job loss is like sometimes it's a wake up call of how you're spending money. So it's kind of turns something in your head, like when you have the lack of income and you're seeing, okay, it may make you pay more attention to how you're spending your money. Maybe what triggers you to start budgeting, and it's like, wow, I never really paid attention to this before, but now having a job loss and not having the money, it's making me be more aware of how I spend my money. Or maybe getting married or having a child, you start changing your mindset of how you look at money, because you want to provide for a spouse, or you want to make sure you can provide for your child. Same with buying a house is the trigger to, because maybe the spouse or child is the trigger to you buying a house. So then you start changing your focus and your habits on money, because now you're saving. So it's building a habit of saving because you're saving for that house, or you're saving for the future of your child. Then you have advertisements and marketing. So persuasive advertising and marketing tactics can trigger desires for certain products or services, leading to impulse purchases or unnecessary spending. So this could be advertisement. It could be that solar sales guy knocking at your door, and their tactics make you feel like, oh, I'm going to save so much money if I get solar panels, and then the electric company's going to be paying me money. So then you dish out, you're looking at that. They make you focus on, oh, you can save money and this and that, but makes you kind of overlook the fact that you're taking out this big loan. Oh, you're paying this much monthly anyway, so what's the difference of it being a loan supposed to you paying the electric company when eventually it'll be paid off, and then now they're going to be paying you and stuff like that. So different tactics like that will make you impulsive buy something you may not have been thinking about until they came knocking at your door. Could be something as simple as that candy bar at the checkout line. You're just finished shopping, you're a little hungry, and you do impulse buy. That's a smaller thing, but those advertisement and marketing can trigger impulse buys. Then we have financial windfalls. Unexpected financial gains, such as receiving an inheritance, bonus, or tax refund, can trigger spending sprees or investment decisions without careful consideration. So seeing that large amount of money come in can kind of trigger you and throw you off of your, if you already had built up good financial habits, that lump sum and seeing it could kind of trigger, as I said, shopping spree. So you're like, oh, I have all this money, I'm gonna go do this, and it just triggers something that can throw you off your traditional habits of how you would traditionally spend money if you had received them in smaller amounts. So those are a few triggers that can play a part in your financial well-being. It's good to know your triggers. So if you know you spend out of stress or anxiety, to find ways to cope with those things, so you kind of cut that from being an issue. But also just being aware of it can make you help you build a better plan for when those situations come up, so you can really sit back and think, okay, do I really need this? So for me, I know if I have my triggers, once I realize what my triggers are, I sit back and kind of focus on, do I really need this? When I feel like I'm spending off of a trigger, just any impulse buying that I do, I stop and think, do I really need it? Even if it's not that big, But if it's not something that's not in my budget, I just have to stop and say, do I really need this? For me, sadly, one of the times I mainly have to do this is in the grocery store. Um, Typically have a sweet tooth. I just like to buy ice cream, and it's like, do I need this? It's not a big purchase, but it's about knowing your triggers and keeping yourself from doing impulse buys that would throw you off of your financial plan. It's about staying in budget and staying focused on what your end goal is. So yeah, maybe something small, but that if it's not in your budget and you have very like tight goals and a tight budget, those things can throw you off. So overall, understanding your money mindset and financial triggers empowers you to take control of your finances, make informed decisions, and work towards your financial goals. It enables you to cultivate healthier financial habits and build long-term financial security. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to stay connected and know when new episodes come out, please subscribe and like this on whatever platform you're listening to or watching this on. I'll catch you next time.